Welcome to the channel and this short video on the impact of the Desert Kingdoms culture pack on Divinity at Impera 1.2. Now, before I get into the detail of this video, I want to give Dresden a very big thank you for addressing the compatibility issues, making sure that we were able to load our existing campaigns and play Divinity at Impera with the new culture pack enabled. Now, I'm aware that it is possible to go back to patch 18, but I really like the idea of the new mechanics in the free LC with the introduction of women. So we'll see how it goes, guys. Anyway, let's get down to it. Now, the Desert Kingdoms culture pack was actually released on the 8th of March 2018, if you're watching this in the future. The biggest feature of it was the fact they've now introduced female faction leaders, and there's also a role as female statespeople who effectively will be able to work behind the scenes, which mirrors the way it used to happen in the ancient kingdom. I think people tend to forget that in even back in the past, right up even to today, there are some very powerful women who work in the background and influence the way an empire is ruled, and that is very much the feature of the Desert Kingdoms culture pack, besides the fact they introduced 4 new desert factions. And I suppose I better address the elephant in the room, which is probably the biggest impact on Divinity at Impera, is the fact now that those 4 new factions are no longer available unless you own the culture pack. So CAF effectively locked 4 factions behind the culture pack. Well, I've bought the culture pack. Feel free to criticize me, guys, but I really love playing Rome 2, especially with Divinity at Impera. So to me, the cost was worth it, and that's all I'm going to say on that, guys. I'm not going to debate it. Anyway, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this change. Now, on the surface, and as far as I can tell, guys, is that most of the changes are fairly lightweight and are mainly cosmetic and to do with the interface. Now, what does happen when you do start Rome 2 and you've got Divinity at Impera enabled, especially like me, I've got the English names mod enabled, and you get this big banner comes up and says you have out-of-date mods, do you wish to do it? It comes up, it's quite intimidating. And then the first time you load the game, you also get this other more small screen come up with 2 checkboxes, and what that relates to is the type of mods. I think the top one is graphic mods and the other one is script mods. And I think that unless you're running a graphical mod, I think you only need to check the bottom one. But to be honest, I've checked both anyway, and that seems to go away. So that's what you get when it first starts, guys. It's a bit intimidating and a little bit in your face, but it's just, I think, this new tool that they've invested that effectively allows you to disable all out-of-date mods. But I just told it to ignore it because I think the English language mod can still function quite well against Divinity at Impera without being updated. If the game starts crashing, I'll just switch it off. So I think let's get down to it, guys, and I'm going to talk about probably which is the biggest impact, and this is you've now got this option called political marriage. And of course, obviously, the character has to be unmarried for it to become active. And you come here and you can see here that as the faction leader who's unmarried for some reason, you can choose any of the other 3 parties. And this number here is actually the loyalty. And what you can effectively do is just choose one. It's going to cost some money. It's going to cost 512 gold or sesterces, whatever you want to call it. And what you can do is just click here. You just send. And it says here, political intrigue. New political intrigue is developed. Barcid dynasty target. And the consequence of the marriage has been arranged. The balance of power has been redressed. And of course, if you're familiar with the old mechanic, that was a way of balancing the gravitas between the 2 families. But of course, what you also get now is actually a female, quiet wife. Actually, she looks quite good, actually. And you can see Nemers is now married. It's instantaneous. And of course, you get a wife at random. Now, what I will say, guys, is that I've played this mechanic in vanilla, and in vanilla, because if I come back to the politics, you see that the politics has not changed, and I don't want any of you to construe this as a criticism against the Divinity at Impera mod team. What actually happens in the vanilla game is that all the wives have a +3 loyalty, so when you actually marry somebody into another faction, what you actually get is this here. So we married, who was it? Who did we marry? The Quiet Wife. I can't remember who we actually married into now, which faction it was. Okay, let's just do it again, guys. So I think Hasparal isn't married, and of course the opposite way round is they can only marry into the Barkid family. There's no option to marry between families. And if I click the Barkid family, and this is the Landowners Party, and for some reason this time they don't get the loyalty, so I better quick check there. Landowners Party is -6, so if we come back to here and we select that, and if we get married, and again he's now married, and he's now got a wife called an educated wife. She's got +2 cunning, but you will see that the trait, this has not changed. If you're playing vanilla, this would now be -3, but I'm sure Dresden and the team are going to look at these issues and address them correspondingly. And I think the advantage of this is now that marriage now becomes something that you can actually turn to your benefit, rather than something that, to be honest, I've rarely ever used the marriage mechanic in Rome 2. It just seemed a bit pointless, and now it does have a point, because obviously I've got lots of generals here who are unmarried. So if I was having, like, say I wanted to balance this up again, guys, so let's come back here. So I've got problems with the Hanoi one, so what I could do is I've got loads of cash, we can marry him again, and he's now got an arrogant wife. Okay, maybe that wasn't such a good thing, but you could improve the loyalty, and I actually quite like that mechanic, and I can see the potential in it. Now, the other mechanic that was introduced as part of the culture pack, and again I can't really demonstrate this, because is the fact that the faction leader can now actually marry into a faction with a female leader. I'm assuming that, or I suppose if you're playing a female leader, it's the converse. I'm assuming that when that option comes up, it will come up in here as a diplomatic action, and of course the precondition would be is that the faction leader is not married. But I haven't actually been able to test that, the same as I haven't been able to really test the impact of stateswomen on here, because obviously all the politicians at the moment are male, and I've got a feeling that mechanic may not kick in unless you start a new campaign as Rome or Greece, and that will be in the future, guys. So I think that's the main feature here. Now the other feature that you can get here is, if I click on these guys, you will see there's now a button for merging, and rather than having to use Control M, of course I got no one to merge. And I think the other feature that I want to demonstrate, because I don't want this video to be too long, is we're going to declare war, and because I want to show you guard mode, so we're just going to declare war. I'm not going to call my allies in. Okay, thank you. And I think we're just going to get stuck into this, guys. Yeah, because this is the new option, and I think people in the forums have kind of given a little bit of hesitation with this. I have fought a couple of battles with it, and I'm not sure that it's actually working properly, or maybe I'm just misinterpreting it. So I'll just fight this battle just to try and demonstrate, guys. I mean, I must admit, I do like guard mode when in the past when I've played it, and I have missed it because, well, I'll explain it once we get on the battlefield, guys. Right, just going to start the deployment. And the other interesting thing, guys, is with this battle, I'm going to be quite interesting to fight this, because when I originally recorded part 17, I think it was, I actually recorded that prior to the Davide 1.2.2H update, and of course in that there was a number of combat and animations and changes to the battle. So I'm going to be quite a little bit interested to see how this is actually going to work, guys, because in theory these should be a lot more tougher forward, but they're going to be a lot more sensitive to flanking motions. So what I'm going to need to do is maybe get a few of these guys. Maybe we need more strength on the wing because my reinforcements are coming in from the left. So I think what we'll do is we'll get these guys here, and we'll put, maybe we will have, yeah, you're Scutari. I think maybe we'll just put you in the centre. Then we'll have some of these guys up on the flank so they can actually flank out a bit. And of course we've got, I think they've got cavalry, missile cav. Yeah, they've got 2 sets of missile cav on this flank. And I think they got 4 sets of missile cav, if I can remember correctly. Yep. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. I think what we will do is we'll keep the general here. Actually, let's get... Now, with respect to guard mode here, guard mode is this crossed arrows here. One of the things I like about guard mode is I'm going to put these guys in guard mode straight away, because what guard mode actually does is it says, if I can see if it actually describes it here, this will put your troops on the defensive. Guard mode makes men hold position. Even if an enemy unit routs, your men will remain in position and hold the line. And this is why I like guard mode with respect to missile troops. I don't generally use guard mode for my infantry and cav, but for things like the artillery, putting it in guard mode means that it will fire at units, but when you get them to target a specific unit that breaks, they don't do this stupid thing which is they love to do, is where they start to advance trying to kill the unit that's routing. So I actually like guard mode from the sense of the actual managing missile units, especially say, because the number of times I've had like a missile units, I've forgotten what the range of these slingers are, sorry guys. And of course this is another change also that's came in, not with the Desert Kingdoms culture pack, but with the Divide et Impera 1.2.2 H update. You see that these slingers have an armor rating of 9 and they've got a lot higher health because they've actually rebalanced some of the stats here with respect to armor. Now, I'm assuming that the relationship between the units remains roughly the same as it's before, because you can see here now these guys have got armor of 26, 28. This guy's got armor of 32, and I think before this general unit would have an armor level of about 16, and of course he's got a lot more health. So that's just another point, guys, and I've just got distracted. So you've got 215, you've got 200, so the slingers have got the greater range. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll put the slingers in front like that. And we're going to have these guys on this side and you on this side, because what I want is for you to take down their missile cav, and I think what we will do is just put you guys out on the flank. Maybe we'll just see if we can hide you in the trees a little bit, because I can guarantee that their missile cav is actually going to come. So let's get there in here. Move these guys forward a little bit. Okay. Yep, our hidden units have been discovered. Okay. And I think what I want to do is hit this heavy missile cav if possible. Okay. Actually, you guys focus fire at them. These guys are coming around here. And of course we've got these guys coming in this side, so we're going to have to keep an eye on them. And, oh, that's interesting, guys. The AI is actually taken up a skirmish position. It's a totally different way than it fought it last time. So we're actually in a skirmish battle. Okay. Right, I think you guys can actually hit these. There's no point firing at these. You guys actually... You take out there. And I think you guys see if you can hit their missile cav. Actually, we'll put you in guard mode. And we'll put you in guard mode as well. Just to see how effective the guard mode is. And these guys are already shuffling around a bit. And it doesn't look like guard mode is as good as it, unless they're just adjusting their position, firing position. Okay, right, I'm just gonna bring these guys in, bring you guys in, on this flank. Okay. I mean, these crossbowmen should actually, we should be able to win the skirmish battle, guys. We okay. Looks like the AI's actually, these guys aren't having that much effect on here. This side. Okay. I think at the moment we're just going to hold the skirmish battle while I get these troops into position. You guys come in this side. I think you guys can start chasing. How can light missile cavalry? General. In you come, General. Okay, General. Of course, the new Divide et Impera update has got some lovely animations in. I don't know if I can actually see them. See if we can get some kill animations. My general's in here somewhere.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Can we see any kill animations? Okay, let's get out of here, guys. Right. Guys, come over this way.
Our men flee the field of battle.
Right, let's take you guard mode. You shoot these. I'm certainly taking a lot more damage with this battle than I did last time, guys. Okay, right, we crush these. Where's my cavalry? Oh, what are you doing mixed up in that battle?
Our men flee the field of battle.
Okay, I shouldn't have looked at that animation, guys. Right, you guys actually fire onto them. Okay, you guys come into on this side. General up here.
Our men flee the field of battle.
Okay.
This is a shameful display.
Yeah, we're taking a lot more bashing. I have to learn to fight with the new battle structure, guys. Right. General out.
Our men flee the field
Yep.
of battle. This is a shameful display.
Right, I actually didn't commit these troops. Okay. These are light missile units. These guys are crumbled. Right. Okay. Oh, bit of a pause there, guys. When you're probably pretty tired. Yep, you're winded. It goes without saying. I've run you all over the battlefield. Wow. I've probably just hit my own general, but okay. Yep, they've gone. That was a bit more bloody than last time, guys. I won that battle relatively easily last time, and I've taken a lot of damage on these units. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. I think I may have to rethink my battle strategy now in the light of the 1.2.2H update. What it will do, guys, is it will give me a very good opportunity to demonstrate the merge option. Okay, we're just going to win. And those guys have gone off. Okay. Of course, now, as you can see here, these units are pretty badly damaged, but what we can do now is just use the merge option. I think we come out a bit better. These guys, I probably didn't use these guys enough. These guys are okay. I mean, we could probably merge those as well. Just see if we can merge those up a bit, and of course we could then just recruit I mean, we got the ability to recruit here, which is pretty good. Anyway, that's a demonstration of guard mode. To be honest, to me the jury's still out, but I can see its use with respect to artillery. Whether it's actually damaging the actual overall battle mechanics, that will come over time, guys. And well, if you guys have got any impressions from your own battles on that, feel free to add a comment. Right guys, I think that's about it with respect to this update. I don't want to draw the video out too long. I've covered the main points and the points of interest, things that you've got to watch. I'm sure that Dresden and the Video at Impera team will be able to take these new mechanics and maybe take it into something of a new direction. If you're interested in the Desert Kingdoms Culture Pack, there will be a video on that in the near future, once I've got a bit of time to actually learn how to play the vanilla game again, because it's at least over 2 years since I've actually played a serious vanilla campaign, guys, so that could be interesting. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.